So Ravens flock, we're entering that point of the offseason where this got to be like what, the third or fourth wave of free agency, and there's still several solid veterans available, and many Ravens fans are still watering at the mouth trying to figure out which one of these guys they would prefer to come to the Ravens the most. One guy that Ravens fans have been clamoring over the most actually isn't even a free agent. It's cornerback Jalen Ramsey from the Miami Dolphins. As all NFL fans know, Miami and Jalen, they have mutually agreed that Jalen could go look for a trade, look for a trade partner to get him out of Miami. He clearly wants out. He doesn't see a future there. And it would be fun to see Jalen and Marlon Humphrey and Nate Wiggins in the secondary together. I think that would be extremely exciting. It would pretty much, in my opinion, it would pretty much become a no-fly zone just off of those three alone. However, is it really realistic? I'm not sure. Now, to be fair, as of right now, there aren't any major reports of us being linked to Jalen, so maybe that could be good news, right? Because typically when Ravens are actually being linked to a player, it's a guarantee we're not going after that player. However, the only team so far that are being reported to be the main the main people pursuing Jalen are the Los Angeles Rams, the Dallas Cowboys, and the Commanders. Out of those three teams, honestly, I think probably the Commanders would be the most aggressive with getting him. And I'm only saying that because I just think the Commanders have the weakest secondary out of those three teams, but it's just my opinion. Could a trade be realistic with the Ravens? I don't know. I don't think so. It really depends, man. Like right now, Jalen Ramsey he's gonna be making $24 million this year. Maybe Miami's willing to eat some of that, but probably not, to be honest with you. If I'm not mistaken, his cap hit's gonna be somewhere around $16 million. So to me, the most realistic scenario, other than maybe restructuring Lamar to free up money, the only other realistic scenario I could see is maybe if they trade Mark Andrews, because as we all know, earlier in this offseason, many Ravens fans were speculating on the Ravens trying to move Mark Andrews. There was a lot of reports about that. Many people thought it would happen on draft night, but it ended up not happening. But that would probably be the only thing I could see the Ravens giving up, like, because Mark Andrews also has a cap hit somewhere around 15 to 16 million. And I do think the Miami Dolphins would want him because he would be a major upgrade from Jonnu Smith. I think Jonnu Smith is pretty overrated. He had a good season, but I think that's more so because for whatever reason, Mike McDaniel was using Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle as like decoys to just get all the attention, and then Jonnu was just wide open in the middle because nobody really thought twice about him, and he was able to, have a good season off of that, which, is what you're supposed to do. But either way, I would think the Dolphins would be interested in that. That's the only thing I think the Ravens would possibly do if they would make a trade for Jalen. I don't think they're going to give up draft picks. Like I've said many times, Eric DeCosta has an addiction to draft picks, so he's not going to give Miami any of those precious picks. But another person who Ravens fans are very excited about potentially going after is safety Justin Simmons. He's coming off of a season that was okay. He played with the Atlanta Falcons after he got released by the Denver Broncos. He only made $8 million last year. So, I mean, look, if he signed a similar deal or an even cheaper deal, like the right price, I could see that happening as well. But there are other teams interested in him, like the Philadelphia Eagles. And I don't know, man. Like when it comes to these guys, even Stephon Gilmore is another guy who's available. He's older than the last two people I just named, older than both of them. But for whatever reason, I guess it's mostly because of the fact that Stephon Gilmore, his football IQ is just out of this world. He's been able to just stay afloat and go to every team as a free agent, and whenever you think he's about to fall off because of his age, he just comes back and just looks like another solid player every single year, despite no longer being in his prime. But even then, man, out of all these names that are being rumored to be guys that the Ravens are interested in signing or trading for, I don't think the Ravens are gonna bust a move for any of these guys. And I don't know if that's I don't think that's really a bad thing, to be honest with you, man. Just because, again, we still don't know if TJ Tampa is good. At some point, You have to let this man get on the field. You can't just continuously stash these guys that you draft every year that we always do. We pick up all of these guys and then we stash them, never let them play, and we go sign an older veteran who takes up a bunch of snaps. I would want to see what TJ Tampa got, man. And the same thing with Bo Braid, man. Like, look, we got two really good safeties. I know our Darius got injured, unfortunately, but so I can't count him, but we got an all-pro safety and Kyle Hamilton, and we just drafted a guy who many people believe can be just as talented as Kyle Hamilton and Malachi Starks. We really shouldn't be that worried about getting another safety, or at least not another veteran safety. This would be the ideal time to see what Sanusi Kane or Bo Braid is made of, since there's now going to be more opportunities due to the unfortunate injury that Ardarius Washington had to deal with. If that secondary is still struggling with potentially two elite safeties, if they're still struggling just because the third safety they put in there isn't an all-pro, then Zach Orr needs to lose his job. And I have nothing against Zach Orr, but at that point, Zach Orr needs to get fired immediately. And so does John Harbaugh. But that's just something I wanted to just come in here real quick and talk about. I don't think the Jalen Ramsey trade rumors are even slightly close to realistic. I would be happy if it happens because I do like Jalen Ramsey. Like, despite him being in the later half of his career, he is still one of the better safeties in the NFL. I would say maybe still top 10, or at the very least still top 15. And even Justin Simmons, I would be excited about that too. Same thing with Stephon Gilmore, but I still don't think it's going to happen. But let me know, are any of these guys that you believe we do realistically have a shot at? And if we did trade for Jalen Ramsey, what do you think we would have to give up in order to get Jalen Ramsey?